You know, here I'm sitting here doing this Dolph Lundgren marathon, where I'm reviewing all of Dolph Lundgren's movies as much as I can. Because I did it with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Sylvester Stallone, where I reviewed all of their movies. And you know what? It was going well with the Dolph Lundgren marathon. Rocky 4, love it. Classic. My favorite Rocky film. Masters Universe, not a fan of it, but it has good points. I like the music by Bill Conti. I like Dolph. I like Frank Langella's Skeletor. I know some people are like, well, yeah, it didn't follow the cartoon, but there was other material before it. I have no knowledge of that material before the cartoon. As a movie itself, I didn't care for the scenes on Earth. I didn't care for the supporting characters. I didn't care for Gwildor. If you like the film, that's fine. Teach their own. I'm not going to say it's one of Dolph's worst movies. It's not even one of his top 10 worst movies. I'm just not a big fan of the movie. There's elements I like, but I prefer many other ones. Red Scorpion I love. I think is very underrated. The Punisher I love. I think is very underrated. I Come in Peace, my favorite Dolph film. Now we did the cover-up. A funny story I heard a long time ago. My friend Mike, OCP Communications, which if he's watching this, I hope one day he does a video, like his thoughts on Dolph Lundgren films, just the ones he's seen. Because he told this fun story about how he had seen a couple films with Dolph. And the reason I'm closing my eyes is because I have a picture of the cover art. I don't even want to look at it. But Mike had seen some Dolph films, just Rocky IV, Masters of the Universe, and he wanted to see a film where, Dolph by himself, not a property, not a sequel. What can Dolph do? And the first one he picked was not I Come in Peace, was not Showdown Little Tokyo, was not The Punisher, was not Red Scorpion, it was fucking Cover Up. So, it's not quite his introduction to Dolph, that was Rocky IV, Masters of the Universe, but to see if he'd go further, it was fucking Cover Up. And then for him, it was so fucking bad. For years, he avoided Dolph Lundgren movies. For years. And that's how bad this fucking movie is. When someone watches it and decides to avoid Dolph Lundgren movies for years. And sad to say, this might not even be in his Dolph's worst top 5. It's bad, but there's worse. Retrograde, The Last Patrol, Agent Red. But this is still not, in my opinion, a good movie, because it's a lifeless flick. Has an ending that's infuriating because you're like, did Dolph die? Did he live? It fucking tells you something when by the end of your goddamn movie, you don't know if your fucking lead character is alive or dead. That fucking says a lot about a movie, And it starts with these awful opening credits where it's like a picture and then it looks like a fucking tear, like if you rip something, and then blue, and then the fucking music, it's like from a fucking Sega CD. The music must be the music of a keyboard dying. Just awful fucking music. Now the plot, this naval base, some people go in, blow up a truck, kill some people, steal something from the armory, and then we're introduced to Dolph Lundgren, who is a reporter for the LA Post. He comes to Israel for a story of this attack at the naval base. And people think it's this terrorist group called Black October. I guess, as opposed to White October, or Pink October, or Purple October, or Sherbert October, it's Black October. So he goes to this press meeting. The U.S. Embassy press attaché is a woman who is an ex-lover of Dolph. Dolph tries to get back with her again, but she's getting married to this other guy who is Dolph's buddy from, I think, the Marines. Louis Gossett Jr. is in there. It was cool to see these two guys team up together again after the Punisher. But Louis Gossett Jr., it doesn't seem like he's in the movie that much. You probably count on one hand how many times he pops up. I mean, there's the first introduction of him. There's a point where he's interrogating Dolph because there's a point where his buddy has died in a car explosion. There's a point where Dolph, after this car chase happens, Louis Gossett Jr. meets up at him at nighttime. There might be another one, but then the final one where Dolph and Louis Gossett Jr. find out who the villain is. But yeah, Louis Gossett Jr., I will say, even when he's in a movie like this, when he's in a direct-to-video film like Monolith with Bill Paxton, Louis Gossett Jr. is giving it his all. He's not phoning it in. I really like him as an actor. I wish later on he got more roles. Maybe that was a decision he made, maybe not, I don't know. But Louis Gossett Jr., man, he deserved a lot more roles. He's such a talented actor. Even in a film like Jaws 3, of course, An Officer and a Gentleman, which he won the Oscar for. I mean, this is an Academy Award-winning actor. Why the hell wasn't he getting more like big roles? Like the roles that Robert Redford and Tom Hanks were getting in their later side of the career. But I digress. The movie is very dull, is very boring. I get maybe Dolph was just trying to do something different because he had done these action films. He wanted to stretch. And you know what, Dolph, I don't think gave that bad of a performance. I really don't. Some people talk shit about Dolph in the movie. He's not the problem with the film. I think Dolph did fine in the acting. I really do. He is not the problem. It's just the story is fucking lifeless and boring and dull. And there's no, if you're going into it for action, there's not much action. There's a little explosion stuff at the beginning on the naval base. When he talks with his buddy, the buddy that's going to get married to his ex-lover, the buddy dies in a car explosion in front of Dolph. There's one point where he's almost hit by a car. He goes to investigation. I don't know what the deal was this one scene. I must have missed something, so I'll blame it on myself. But as he's investigating, he looks at something that's a fertilizer, and then he looks up the phone number for fertilizer. I don't remember what the fuck that led to. So I must have missed something. I'll blame that on me. But that shows how little give a fucks I gave on this film and how little it tried to pull me in. There's a car chase where Dolph's in a red car, very forgettable car chase. The handful of scenes Dolph and Louis Gossett Jr. together, they work nicely together. I don't know why in the cover Louis Gossett Jr. has a gun, because he never holds a fucking gun in this movie. Like literally, the cover of this film is Louis Gossett Jr. with a gun. He never holds a gun in this entire fucking film, let alone shoots one. Like, you know what? If you don't do a movie like Cover Up, just make an action film and let them be a buddy team. Because if you watch the work print version of The Punisher, which has the deleted opening, where it's Dolph and Louis Gossett Jr. as regular cops, being partners, they have good chemistry together. So you know what? Maybe someone should look at that and go, let's make an entire movie like that opening scene of the work print of The Punisher. Which maybe at this point no one saw that because it was a work print. It wasn't in the theatrical cut. But maybe if someone saw the dailies or saw the rough cut of that, these two work. Let's put them together. That's what this movie should have been. Just a buddy cop movie with Louis Gossett Jr. and Dolph. It could be more serious, but you have some humor, some levity, because I think these two would have pulled it off, and it would have been great. Make their version of Lethal Weapon. I would buy it. Dolph Lundgren and Louis Gossett Jr. in their version of Lethal Weapon. I think that would have been great. Idea and fucking T would be a lot better than what we got. But no, we can't have good things. We can't have that. Good idea. Let's make a movie with Louis Gossett Jr.'s in it for... I'd be surprised if it was more than 15 minutes. Dolph barely gets to do anything. After he has a talk with Louis Gossett Jr., and he finds out the whole thing deals with this nerve gas, this new type of nerve gas. And there is no such thing as a Black October. It's a hoax. There's a scene where Dolph has sex in the shower with this lady, his ex-lover, now his lover again. There's a little struggle where this room service guy who's working with the bad guys tries to strangle Dolph. And Dolph bashes him, bashes his head against the shower wall, and drowns his ass in the tub. Goes to see Louis Gossett Jr. and finds out, oh, his dead buddy is still alive. His dead buddy did not die in the car explosion. He faked his death because he's the villain. And why did he do it? Something about his family died and the government did nothing in retaliation. So now he wants to start a war between, I guess, the U.S. and Israel. What the fuck that's going to do, I don't know. You would think it will lead to a lot more... I don't know why... Okay, I'm sad that your family died, but what does that have to do with the situation now? How does starting a war help you in any way, shape, or form? Are you mad at Israel? Is that why? But you're going to kill a lot of Americans, both in this thing you're going to do, in which he's going to kill like 100,000 people with this nerve gas. And I think he said he was going to blame it on Iraq. I'm like, why are you starting a war again? I'm not following your logic, man. Maybe that's the point, because he's crazy. But they don't really make it seem like he's a crazy lunatic, but he just comes off as a fucking moron. Dolph kicks the guy. Louis Gossett Jr. tries to get the gun. He gets stabbed in the leg. So he never gets it. He gets stabbed in the leg before it. Dolph is kind of fighting the guy, but he's more just blocking the guy's sword attacks. The sword goes through a chair. It comes down. The guy's grabbing at Dolph. Dolph pushes him back, and the guy gets impaled with the sword that was stuck to the chair. The guy also set up like a little device for the nerve gas, so Dolph gets Louis Gossett Jr. and they get the fuck out. I guess thankfully this nerve gas will be contained in the house, because it's in this balloon and the balloon pops. I guess this nerve gas can't escape a house. I guess. Which makes me wonder, how the fuck are you going to kill 50,000, 100,000 people? Apparently, if you just get in a house, you're safe. Because all they do is, like, Louis Gossett Jr., they're just, like, 10 feet away from the outside of the door, and they're fine. But okay, whatever. That's one of the least problems with the film. And if I give a fuck about the rest of the film, I won't even have mentioned it. But Louis Gossett Jr., he survives the movie. He has a sore wound on his leg. He tells Dolph, go, stop it. So Dolph travels a long way. He's losing blood. And he has to get to this bell tower. And the other villain is his girlfriend, his lover, who is working with Dolph's buddy. She's part of it. And this nerve gas bomb is part of the bell tower. When it rings, it'll be unleashed. She shoots Dolph in the shoulder. Dolph punches her the fuck out. Then she gets on his back. He goes back, pushes her out the window, falls to her death. Dolph grabs the thing on the bell, pulls it down, crumples to the floor, and then fades out. I think when I saw this as a kid, I think I did see this once when I was a kid, because I'm like, oh, Dolph, I love the Punisher, I come in peace. And then I was just so fucking bored with this movie, and then the ending I was confused by. I do remember the first time I saw this movie, I'm like, what the fuck is this ending? I think when I first saw it, I'm like, did he even stop it? Like, did he even stop what happened? I think my friend Michael CP, he felt the same way. Wait, did he even stop the thing? Because it's so nonchalant, like, it's almost as if they ran out of footage. He crumples to the ground, and then as he crumples, there's a wide shot, then the credits roll. I'm like, this seems like a movie that should have a couple extra scenes, like maybe of Louis Gossett Jr. and seeing Dolph, or Dolph be taken to an ambulance or something. But you're left wondering, did Dolph die? He was losing a lot of blood. Because it's a long trek to it, and you see like blood pouring out, and then now he's been shot in the shoulder, so did he die of blood loss? If he died, then fucking tell us, movie. Again, it tells you something when you watch a fucking film and you don't know if your lead character lived or died. And this movie doesn't even seem like it's trying to be a pretentious, ambiguous ending. It just seems like it's inept. And it just fucking, again, ran out of footage. This is directed by a guy, I think his name is Manny Coto. Funny enough, after this, he directed Dr. Doodles. Yes, from the director of Dr. Doodles, Cover Up. If you don't know what Dr. Doodles is, it's a fun slasher film with Larry Drake, the villain of Darkman. He's the main villain. Has some nice bits of gore, like violence. It does seem like some stuff was cut out, but it's a fun, very tongue-in-cheek slasher movie from the 90s. A lot better than this movie. But this movie, man, it just... so fucking bullshit of an ending. That's confusing. If you're going to it for action, you're not getting much action. And the little action that's there, it's nothing noteworthy. The story isn't that interesting. He's a reporter. Something about nerve gas. And, we gotta stop the nerve gas. Oh, my buddy faked his death and he's the villain. How many times have we seen that in movies before and after this film? Countless times. The story, it didn't really do anything that intriguing or interesting. If it was working as a thriller, it failed to thrill. It's such a misfire. Other than Louis Gossett Jr. and Dolph, they're not bad in the acting performances. And like the one or two times they share the screen, they work nicely together. I don't know what else to say about this film, man. I don't know what else to say about this movie. Lifeless, boring flick. I get that Dolph wanted to do something different, but I thought it was a misfire and a failure. And thankfully, after this, you would get Universal Soldier and Showdown Low Tokyo and Army of One and Men of War. A lot better than this movie. But again, that's just my opinion. If you're a fan of the film, good on you. I don't get it, but teach their own. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Because I'm tired of talking about this fucking film. But on the flip side, I'm glad it's out of the way because I never have to talk about this fucking movie again. And once again, I'm looking at this cover. Why the fuck do you have Louis Gossett Jr. with a gun and he never shoots a gun? Even the cover fucking lies to you. And like Dolph is in this black outfit. He never wears that in the movie. This like all black outfit. Even the cover fucking lies to you. Is that the cover up? They made this movie that was an actual buddy cop movie, but they covered it up and put this shitty, boring, dull, lifeless flick for our eyes to witness? Is that the true cover up? If so, then fuck you, movie. If the lies don't kill you, the truth will. Yeah, well, you fucking lie on the cover. Your fucking tagline says, if the lies don't kill you, the truth will. Well, you lies are killing me because even your fucking cover lies. For fuck's sake, movie. Kiss my ass.